The alien relay station drifted at the edge of a nameless nebula, ancient beyond memory and bored beyond measure. Its operators were technicians of habit, dialing star systems the way fishermen cast lines, hopping for silence. Contact protocols were strict, numbers precise, destinations checked 1,000 times. Yet boredom breeds mistakes, even among immortals. One junior operator entered a sequence slightly off, a harmonic skewed by curiosity rather than caution. The signal leapt across folded space, skipped approved channels, and rang a number no one had meant to call. On Earth, the call appeared as background noise inside a deep space listening array in Chile. At first, the scientists dismissed it as static, another whisper from the cosmic ocean. Then the whisper repeated, structured, rhythmic, unmistakably intentional. Humanity had been waiting for a sign for centuries, and now the universe was dialing in. When the team answered with a simple mathematical greeting, they did not know they had just picked up the wrong number. Nor did they know the caller was already regretting the mistake. The alien voice that returned was calm, formal, and very surprised to hear a reply. It identified itself as a logistics node of the Kepri Accord, an interstellar administrative body that had never listed Earth as active. The humans froze, then scrambled, then replied with everything they had ever dreamed of saying. Languages were translated on the fly, concepts bridged by math and metaphor. The alien realized the error within moments, yet protocol demanded continued engagement once contact was established. On Earth, news leaked, then flooded, then drowned every other concern. Governments argued, markets trembled, crowds gathered under open skies. The question was no longer whether humanity was alone, but whether it was welcome. The alien tried to end the call politely, promising memory erasure and quarantine. Humanity refused to hang up. They asked questions about stars, history, threats, and hope. Against its better judgment, the alien answered. Information flowed like fire, warming and burning in equal measure. Human scientists learned of faster-than-light corridors, energy abundance, and ancient wars among the stars. They also learned of filters, of civilizations erased not by disaster, but by attention. The alien warned them that being noticed carried a cost. On Earth, opinions split between fear and defiance. Some demanded silence, others demanded advancement at any cost. The alien confessed that Earth existed outside official maps, hidden by chance and cosmic noise. This wrong number had made humanity visible. There were powers in the galaxy that preyed on emerging worlds. The Kepri Accord was not a shield, only a ledger. Humanity listened, learned, and decided. Instead of begging for protection, humanity offered partnership. They shared art, music, philosophy, and stories of surviving impossible odds. They spoke of unity forged in crisis, of turning weakness into strength. The alien, no longer just a voice, began to understand what kind of species it had called. Earth engineers worked day and night, adapting scraps of alien theory into crude but functional breakthroughs. The message humanity sent back was simple and dangerous. We are here, we are learning, and we will not hide. The alien tried once more to end the connection, but something had changed. This was no longer a mistake. This was a beginning. When other powers detected the signal, they did not find a quiet, defenseless world. They found a species already united by the knowledge that it had been seen. Humanity had answered the wrong number with preparation, resolve, and imagination. The Kepri Accord updated its records, Earth reclassified not as a liability, but as an anomaly. The alien who had dialed by accident was reassigned, yet never forgot the call. Across the galaxy, whispers spread of a young world that refused to be erased. A world that turned a simple hello into a declaration. The universe had spoken by mistake. Mankind had answered on purpose. The signal did not fade as the alien expected. Instead, it stabilized, strengthened, and evolved. Across light years, sensors picked up Earth's response not as a cry for help, but as a steady beacon of intent. Humanity did not shout, did not threaten, and did not beg. They broadcast consistency. To older civilizations, this was unsettling. Young species were expected to panic, to fracture, or to fall silent. Earth did none of these things. Within months, human infrastructure transformed. Listening arrays became communication hubs. Satellites once built to observe were rewritten to speak. Nations that had spent centuries divided by borders found unity under a single undeniable truth. They had been heard. And more importantly, they had been answered. The alien who made the mistake, designated Archivist 17 of the Kepri Accord, watched in silence as reports flooded in. Each update contradicted established predictive models. Human technological growth accelerated not linearly, but creatively. They failed often, but every failure bred 10 new approaches. Archivist 17 realized with growing unease that humanity did not advance like other species. They adapted emotionally as fast as they adapted scientifically. Elsewhere in the galaxy, less patient eyes turned toward the signal. Predator civilizations detected a familiar pattern. A young world emitting structured communication without a registered sponsor. Historically, such worlds were harvested, enslaved, or erased. Yet something about Earth's transmissions caused hesitation. Humanity did not hide its history. They openly shared records of war, collapse, recovery, and reinvention. They spoke of near-extinction events, of plagues survived, of skies darkened and rebuilt. They transmitted stories of loss alongside stories of stubborn hope. To ancient minds accustomed to sanitized narratives, this honesty was alarming. One predatory fleet diverted course, testing the waters. They probed Earth's outer system with silent drones. The response was immediate. Human sensors detected anomalies not by superior technology, but by relentless redundancy. Thousands of overlapping systems caught what one alone would miss. Humanity replied not with weapons, but with a message. "We see you." That single sentence echoed louder than any threat. Archivist 17 intervened against protocol. They warned the approaching fleet that Earth was under observation of the Accord. This was only partially true, but enough to cause delay. The fleet withdrew to reassess. Predators preferred certainty. Earth represented chaos. On the planet itself, humans did not celebrate. They prepared. Factories shifted from consumer goods to infrastructure. Research facilities merged data openly, abandoning secrecy in favor of speed. Military forces coordinated globally, not for conquest, but for deterrence. Humanity had learned long ago that survival favored cooperation under pressure. Children were taught not just fear of the stars, but responsibility toward them. Artists painted skies filled with unknown constellations. Writers documented the moment the universe first spoke back. Religion, philosophy, and science collided, debated, and slowly realigned. For the first time, humanity asked not who they were to each other, but who they would be to everyone else. The alien caller listened, changed by what they witnessed. The Kepri Accord was ancient, slow, and cautious. It existed to manage stability, not potential. Earth represented uncontrolled potential. Archivist 17 filed reports that were quietly archived, then reread, then quietly circulated among higher nodes. A summit was called. Not officially about Earth, but everyone knew why they were there. Older civilizations debated in patterns honed over millennia. Some argued Earth must be silenced, before it attracted worse attention. Others proposed containment, uplift, or quarantine. A minority suggested alliance. That minority was laughed at, until data projections showed Earth's cultural resilience, their willingness to absorb trauma without societal collapse, their capacity to unify under existential threat, their disturbing habit of turning adversity into innovation. One elder species asked a simple question: if they survive us, what will they become? Meanwhile, Earth continued to speak. They did not address specific species. They addressed the universe itself. Their message was calm, consistent, and repeating. We are here. We choose to exist. We are willing to talk. The wrong number had become a broadcast, and the galaxy was listening. A second contact occurred, not by accident. This time it was deliberate, cautious, and heavily monitored. A neutral envoy responded to Earth's signal. Humanity welcomed them not with submission, but curiosity. The envoy expected disorganization, fear, and internal conflict. They found coordination, preparation, and quiet resolve. The envoy asked why humanity did not conceal itself after learning the risks. The answer was simple: because hiding never saved us before. That statement was recorded, translated, and replayed across countless worlds. Some civilizations felt something stir that they had not felt in ages. Others felt threatened. A species that refused to play by expected rules was dangerous. Archivist 17 realized the truth too late. The mistake was not dialing the wrong number. The mistake was assuming humanity would respond like everyone else. Earth was no longer an accidental contact. It was a variable, an unresolved equation in a galaxy that prized predictability. As stars burned and ancient powers deliberated, humanity continued to prepare. They did not know what would come next. They only knew they would answer again. Because once mankind picked up the call, they never intended to hang up. The galaxy did not attack Earth immediately. That was the first mistake. Ancient civilizations preferred observation before action, believing patience was wisdom. Humanity interpreted the silence differently. To them, silence was the calm before impact. Earth's skis did not change, but its people did. Preparation became routine, not panic. Emergency drills expanded from planetary disasters to existential ones. Orbital infrastructure multiplied, quietly and relentlessly. What once took decades was achieved in years through unified urgency. Archivist 17 watched Earth's progress with something dangerously close to admiration. They had never seen a civilization treat looming annihilation as a problem to be solved rather than a fate to be feared. Humans argued constantly, but they moved forward anyway. Internal conflict did not stop them, it refined them. The first real threat came not as a fleet, but as a test. A remote weapon probe entered the solar system, ancient and autonomous. It had no crew, no voice, no curiosity. Its purpose was simple: measure resistance. Human detection systems noticed it long before it crossed planetary orbit. Not because it was advanced, but because it assumed invisibility. Human systems assumed intrusion. They flooded space with noise, reflections, and false data. The probe adjusted. So did humanity. When the probe fired a warning pulse at an uninhabited asteroid, Earth responded instantly. The response was not a counterattack. It was a broadcast. We see your test. We understand your language. Do not mistake restraint for weakness. The probe transmitted data back to its creators before self-termination. That data unsettled them. Earth had responded too fast, too coherently. This was not the behavior of a prey world. Debate erupted across distant councils. Some demanded escalation before humanity grew stronger. Others warned that humanity was already strong in ways not easily measured. Archivist 17 submitted one final unauthorized addendum. If you strike them, they will not collapse. They will adapt around the wound. The warning was ignored. The First Fleet arrived without ceremony. No declarations, no warnings, no dialogue. It emerged beyond Pluto, weapons primed, shields raised. To the galaxy, this was mercy. To humanity, it was confirmation. Earth did not fire first. They spoke. They repeated the message that had defined them since the beginning. We are here. We are willing to talk. The fleet responded with silence, then with fire. The first shots never reached Earth. Human defensive networks intercepted them far from inhabited space. Missiles redirected, beams diffused, kinetics absorbed by layered systems never meant to exist together. The galaxy watched in disbelief as a pre-industrial species, by cosmic standards, deflected a modern assault. Humans learned in real time. Every impact fed models. Every near miss rewrote algorithms. What they lacked in elegance, they compensated for with redundancy and stubbornness. When humanity finally returned fire, it was not with overwhelming force. It was with precision. They targeted propulsion, sensors, and communication. They aimed not to destroy, but to disable. The alien fleet faltered. Their doctrine did not account for mercy under fire. Confusion spread. Orders conflicted. One ship broke formation, then another. Archivist 17 felt something shift across the Accord networks. For the first time in recorded history, a sanctioned fleet was losing to an unregistered world. Not because humanity was stronger, but because they refused to fight the expected way. The battle ended not with annihilation, but retreat. Damaged ships limped away, carrying a truth they could not erase. Earth had survived first contact warfare. On the planet below, there was no celebration. Only silence. Humanity mourned the lives lost in orbital defenses. They rebuilt immediately. Grief did not slow them. It sharpened them. The galaxy reacted unevenly. Some worlds panicked, fearing what humanity might become. Others reached out quietly, cautiously curious. A few openly declared Earth a threat that must be neutralized. Earth responded to all of them the same way. With openness, records, and a simple request. Talk to us before you decide who we are. Archivist 17 was summoned. Their superiors demanded explanation. How had a single error destabilized centuries of balance? The archivist answered honestly. We did not create this. We revealed it. The Kepri Accord fractured along ideological lines. Those who believed in control clashed with those who believed in coexistence. Humanity had forced a question the galaxy had avoided for millennia. Was stability worth stagnation? Earth continued to evolve. Not just technologically, but culturally. The idea of the other no longer inspired terror alone. It inspired responsibility. Children grew up knowing the stars were watching. They trained not just as soldiers or scientists, but as representatives. Humanity understood now that survival was not enough. They would be judged by what they did with it. A second fleet was proposed, larger, harsher, final. The vote was close. Too close. Archivist 17 transmitted one last message to Earth before being silenced. They did not ask for forgiveness. They offered respect. You answered a call no one was meant to hear. Unchanged everything. Earth replied within seconds. We are still listening. Across the galaxy, the line remained open. And for the first time, the universe was unsure who would hang up first.